Hi, my name is Joonas Kylliäinen. I am the CEO and co-founder of Norders Creative Agency, a digital marketing company from Helsinki, Finland. Personally, I'm here on this planet to have a healthy, intimate and financially independent family that helps others reach the same. I'm a family man first, well-being and creative marketing entrepreneur second, business strategist third, and an aspiring athlete the rest of my time. But I'm not here talking to you about me directly. I'm here to have a conversation with you about growth. And everything I just said about myself has everything to do with growth. See, I come from and promote the belief that life is about growth. Growth is meaning. The purpose is about growth. Relationships are about growth. Every day is about growth. But to keep things focused, I'm not here to talk about the meaning of life per se, but I want to focus now on building a strategy for sustainable organizational growth. It shall be mentioned though that this topic is not all exclusive of the meaning of life nor personal growth, but exploring and systematizing sustainable organizational growth is the aim of this talk. As an example and a benchmark, I'll share how our young creative marketing agency, on the verge of the unknown, with a lot of work, has built our strategy for growth. What pieces the strategy consists of, and how you can start not only building a growth strategy for your organization, but also reaping the benefits of executing it in no time. Nonetheless, the topic of growth and its importance is so significant that it deserves a quick definitive reminder. So what is growth and why it is important? Okay, let's hear it from perhaps the most renowned life and business strategist, Tony Robbins. If you're not growing, you're dying, Tony says. It's really as simple and blunt as that. And that is an oldie but goldie from Tony Robbins, but I feel like it matches the end of 2021 perfectly. For me, as in my mid-30s, growth was some time ago something that was available for those who wanted to do the impossible, achieve more than required, work harder than necessary, or for those who found themselves in a bad place in life and found the motivation to make things better. But for the masses, not growing seemed to be more or less okay. Not growing probably was for a long time a smarter, less risky choice. For a while it definitely was for me too. We would do our 9 to 5, not screw up too bad, not to make too much noise, read the instructions and nod our heads. Sound familiar? Well, then 2008 happened. Then the global digitalization happened. Then COVID happened. And last but certainly not least, then the capability for any of us, even for the smallest, least significant individual of us, the internet and social media granted the power to make a difference, to make a positive impact in the world, to freaking help another person and help the planet in scale. Yes, in scale. So, number one, you cannot afford not to grow. So first, it was not enough anymore not to grow. The world started moving too fast. Even if your plan was a comfortable 9 to 5, for the man, you had to step up, or someone younger, cheaper, someone with a better grasp on new technologies and opportunities would come out of the left field and take your place. Second, growth enables impact. So secondly, we are all now given an opportunity to make a difference by putting effort into, yes, by growing and practice altruism on a scale not possible for a normal person before. And third, growth elevates. Third, the elevating fact is a factor not mentioned before, and I think this might touch many of you. Growth is, well, just a lot more fun. Why? Because growth is more growth. Whatever growth manifests to you, then it means more of it. More financial independence, more time with your family or hobbies, more impact, more power, more knowledge, better skills, a better understanding of yourself, a better relationship, better health. Whatever it is you seek, growth is the answer. Growth, by definition, is a gradual increase. So planned growth with our given circadian rhythm is the act of process towards the desired goal within a day. That's it. That's also a great transition for us to start talking about the growth strategy for an organization or a team. Since growth is not a major leap, but on the contrary, gradual, most likely small constant progress towards a shared objective. Okay, sorry, got carried away again. This is known to happen to me. Anyways, now I've hopefully laid out the principle that as individuals and thus as a social group, such as a team or an organization, growth is the way. The only way to go if we want to find and fulfill our purpose and achieve even the impossible. Or as also in modern terms, just to survive. So let's look at how we at Norders Creative Marketing Agency looked at how we needed to grow as a company to make the growth for us sustainable and, as you'll learn, automated. As a co-founder, I, for obvious reasons, had a major role in coming up with initial plans for Norders to lay down the path, or more like the plan for success. When Norders was officially founded in not later than January 2021, I remember myself and my co-founder and a close friend, Ronnie Eriksson, thinking of ways to build an organization that could provide us with the impact we sought to make. As a process, system, and a digital lover, I was quickly caught on setting up tools, software, and integrations to match a headcount somewhere far out in our dreams. This was when I was not too occupied with writing a I admit it, a 10-year business plan. Eventually, trying not to give full credit to Ronnie for some egoistic reasons, so as a partly research-based rationalist, I also found people and leadership-centric direction from books like John Doerr's Measure What Matters or Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last and Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, among others. I pitched a mixed philosophy of the several books I had digested to Ronnie to pretty much him to KO me with 1 people, 2 people, 3 people as the 3 most important factors for business success. People. I'm pretty sure we've read this one from somewhere, but I can't remember where. So if you can share the source with us, please do, and we'll give the credit where it belongs. It's been a long way coming here, but the first piece of our strategy for growth, the foundation of it, is people. As the author, Jim Collins, of maybe the book that has had the most influence for me as a business leader, Good to Great, in his book, Jim Collins said, "Look, I don't really know where we should take this bus, but I know this much. If we get the right people on the bus, the right people in the right seats, and the wrong people off the bus, then we'll figure out how to take it someplace great." We took this to our heart. We believed that if we wanted to build something that would truly provide meaning and value to us and others in scale, we would need to be able to separate ourselves in the global market with an extraordinary story and delivery. We had an overall blurry grasp of what it was, but we knew that it would take a lot of work and iteration to get it right. So we started first to get the right people on the bus. For us, this was easy or easier since we then didn't literally have any people on the bus. So there was none of that more difficult, perhaps getting rid of people part for us. Since we were just starting out and we were going to bootstrap it all pretty much, we didn't have much to offer salary-wise. So we weren't on the lookout for senior leaders to join our modest team. Thus we went all out with the culture. We wrote our story so far, shared our blurry vision, took some pictures of us to give it a visual context, and published this all on our agency's website and social media channels, and made sure it all came from the heart and sounded, smelled, and felt like us. Then we posted free job ads on different platforms and started interviewing people. What felt right from the beginning was almost intentionally exclude experience and status. We found ourselves wanting raw, ambitious, diverse, and big-hearted people who truly shared our values and curiosity. We went all in on choosing people based on culture fit, not position fit. And this, my dear friend, I still believe has been the greatest finding of my professional life. Once we have started to have more of the right people on the bus, we have started to see these individuals choose responsibilities, demonstrate accountability, and practice discipline without much supervision, management, or control. That's the kind of people you want to find and work hard to keep. One key element, other than a shared vision, I can't emphasize enough is leading by example. I myself am not a senior business leader with a proven track record, which in some sense could grant me a more given level of authority, and even if I was, I believe that still showing up to every single moment and making the best of it would be my strategy to lead others. I'm a person who has spent so much time soul searching and trying to figure out what I want, and always assuming that if I can just find meaning and a clear path to what I want, I could do anything. And now that I have, I feel like doing anything to make it happen is a hell of a lot easier. I mean, it's still super hard and there are severe downs after downs, but I still find myself grinding, and that's what for me it's a lot about. It's about not giving up and finding new ways to try to make it better. To amplify this phenomenon to people around me, to people on my bus, I've simply tried to copy this model. This model is thus called Give the People What They Want. It's quite simple, actually. I ask a person who has joined our team what they want in life. If they know, then we draw a roadmap for that person to get there, and then we start systematically tracking where we are on that path and making the required adjustments to correct the progress. If they don't know what they want, which is very common and super normal, we map out a game plan to get to a certain milestone at where we then evaluate the person's purpose and why again. If during this journey the purpose has been found, which is more common than you'd think, then we get to the roadmap. If there's still no clear purpose, then we set a new milestone. The milestones usually have something to do with financial gains, interesting projects, and more responsibilities, which are great sub-goals to let a person get to know herself better if working on these topics help her uncover or find her meaning. But the principle here, just like it was for me, is to keep moving, keep taking action and staying curious. No matter how clear or unclear the purpose is, the only way towards it is to embrace obstacles, keep showing up, and keep giving it all you've got. The second piece of our strategy puzzle is category design, as famously coined in another of my favorite books I can't recommend enough, Play Bigger. For us, goal setting, and especially OKRs, which have worked great for us and we have been used with our executive team, is a part of the strategy design piece in our strategy for growth. I think I intentionally want to somewhat not put the goal setting on a pedestal and really emphasize taking action here. Don't get me wrong, I think goal setting is crucial for a company's success, but I've seen so many times people get stuck on setting, tracking, and resetting their goals up to a point that they end up getting nothing done. Procrastination is what it is, if you ask me. Choose a clear goal fast, set a direction faster, and get to it. After a week, see how you and your team feel. Your vision, purpose, and clear goals come and take their place. Actually, they'll be clearer, more meaningful, and deliberate once you felt action to save them. That's why I work hard to have our strategic focus on category design, for which goals, objectives, and key results are a vital point, but not the intrinsic value itself. Okay, got that out of my system, sorry about that. So back to the category design. Let's hear it straight from the founding fathers themselves. Category design is a discipline of creating and monetizing new markets in a noisy world. The journey starts first with understanding the problem that you desire to solve. The problem is the proxy for the category and is the strategic element you see missing in the world. Just as a quick side note, I once again highly recommend the book, and you can also find everything about the discipline with concrete steps at playbigger.com/category-page. So in a sense, nothing new here, right? Just a good old entrepreneurial approach to solving someone's problem and getting paid for it. Yes and no. Yes, category design is about finding a problem and solving it for money. But it's based on the assumption that someone, probably a lot of other people and companies, are already trying to solve the exact same problem as you are. At least this is how it often looks like to your audience. To tackle this problem, we need to differentiate ourselves and our offering from the competition. The best way to earn attention and take ownership of your market is to create a category completely your own, in which you're the only one who can solve the specific problem. Sounds appealing, doesn't it? A world without direct competition. Based on the category design model, if you successfully create a new business category, then the competition will follow, but that's normal. And by that time, you've crowned yourself the category king or queen, and it'll be hard for your competitors to catch up. With Norders, I often like to say that when you strip down everything around our brand, essentially we do marketing for money. We help brands reach and convert audiences. This, in its essence, makes us a marketing agency. One might call it the creative advertising, digital marketing, growth marketing, or communication. I call it marketing for money. But the problem we identified in the marketplace is that utilizing marketing services is often slow, expensive, human resource intensive, project-oriented, and lacks meaning. Marketing service providers for us all started to seem like these cool hipsters that are willing to get creative for you for money, but without any process, aim for lean outcomes, or a joint partnership with a common vision larger than any of us alone. At the same time, as our own competitive advantage and passion, we identified Nordic value-based doing, thus innovative, sustainable, transparent, and trustworthy marketing combined with a heavy emphasis on providing systematic and predictable service and results. As a result, our goal is to build our own category of the creative Nordic marketing community, academy, and agency for changemakers. Pretty specific, right? So if you are a leader, marketer, creative, or aspire to be one, we want to offer you the framework with actual execution to generate predictable, sustainable growth for you and your community. For this, we don't believe marketing agency services are enough, but we need to build a community, an academy to inspire, unite, and elevate us and like-minded changemakers to become the change we want to see. This is then our guiding light, our main goal and objective, under which we've defined clear, measurable, and time-specific goals that we then as a team constantly analyze and work towards. Today, I very much think we still compete against every marketing agency, freelancer, and in-house department on the planet. But systematically repeating our own different value proposition, delivering on our own brand promise, and showing up for the hard work, I'm positive that we can create a new category that will make the world a more sustainable and a happier place. Having not only a system, but an automated system in place is the key to then eventually spinning the flywheel. So let's talk about that next. The third and final piece of the growth strategy puzzle is an automated system. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and call it action systems. That's a much better term. Let's leave the word action start the term too, since in my humble but somewhat experienced opinion, it's all that matters. If you just keep moving, keep taking action, you will automatically learn and grow. By taking action every day, you learn what works and what doesn't work about your business, and as long as you stay curious with a growth mindset and keep asking how can we improve, success will follow. Action combined with the right people on the bus, on the right seats, and with a category design model in place, I don't think you can't be stopped. The only problem with raw human execution is that it has a tendency to variate. You know it, I know it. Sometimes you and your team are on fire. The flow is on and magic just keeps happening. You get up early, make a complete ruckus, and wake up the next morning victorious to repeat. It's an awesome phase when it's on, but the word phase is where the problem hides. Then often, even for no apparent reason, the magic disappears. Everything sucks. You don't want to get up. You can't stand your teammates and you just keep losing left and right. To achieve continuous, lean, and sustainable growth, we can't allow this to happen. We have to eliminate human volatility. The answer is to combine massive action with systems to build action systems. For us Norders, a great tool to analyze and set up our systems, even for 2021 and beyond, has been entrepreneurial book classic from 1986, The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. In the book, Mr. Gerber divides systems into three categories: hard, soft, and information. Let's go through them all, and I'll share how they are in place at Norders. Hard systems are the unliving physical things. They are your office spaces, warehouses, production facilities, and machines and computers, colors on the walls and wheels under you. As the Norders thrive on the digital nomad culture, our hard systems are pretty simple and small in numbers. We all are pretty independent with our laptop and phone choices, but since video production and photography are at the core of our services, our hard system maintenance is closest to strategic importance with keeping our gear up to date. Soft systems are flexible systems, people, brand, and all the people-led processes. This is where it gets exciting and important to systematically automate. With soft systems, you basically want to write out handbooks and manuals for every single step of your business together with your team to ensure they take ownership of the laid out processes. For Norders, we started with the classics like a brand book for how to use and communicate using the Norders brand. We also conducted our values, manifesto, and a first version handbook to share our vision and basic principles and operating systems with our internal team and potential customers and recruits. At this moment when scripting this, our executive team is systematically working on our sales, marketing, and production manuals to document our still evolving processes behind these disciplines. Information systems are the third and last system type. Information systems provide you with information from the first two systems in forms like cash flow reporting, sales forecasting, inventory control, marketing ROI, and the like. At Norders, we've very carefully selected the information system tools to ensure they can be interconnected, workflow optimized, and are scalable for our future plans. Most importantly, they are simple, don't require coding, and are loved by our users. The most essential ones for our day-to-day operations are Google Workspace for productivity tools and cloud hosting, Pipedrive CRM, for CRM, Asana for project management, Slack for communication, Contentino and Wix for content management, and NetVisor for financial management. Whoa, that's it. Quite a bit of stuff. I want to, at this point, thank you for your attention. I know it probably has been a handful of information. Now we've briefly gone through how we at Norders set up our people, category design, and system strategies to build a growth strategy to enable sustainable growth. As mentioned, we briefly went through these different pieces of strategy that are all very close to my heart, and there is so much more to talk about each and every one of them. So please give me a shout if you want to dive deeper on any of the pieces. Now it's time for the glue to tie it all together: people, category design, and system. And that glue is automating the action. Automating so that we eliminate human volatility, human error, and supercharge our growth into the leanest, most profitable version of itself that sustainably continues to generate more values to our business, but also to our people and communities. Automation, it's a twofold act. First, and more easily, we need to automate our digital workflows. For example, to ensure that all the information flows smoothly from the initial view of our video on a social media channel by a targeted prospect to our marketing system, from where it, if triggered, shares all the necessary information to our CRM, from where it generates an automatic proposal and eventually moves the information all the way to the tailored existing customer management experience. So these are our digital systems, software and tools talking to each other automatically were workflow setups, webhooks, and API, and in the name of agile and simplicity as often as possible without any code. The second part is human automation. This is the work, the grind, the motivation, the need to push forward with your mission because it's bigger than you or your team, that needs to be systematically processed into an automation super machine. And it's actually super simple. What has worked so well for us is simply allowing our people to set their goals, declare ownership, publish internally the company-wide goals with everyone's responsibilities attached, and then just meet with the responsible team once a week to see where we stack against our objectives. Together we analyze, pivot, and make an action plan for the following week to together push harder towards our dreams. This simple system of declared visible goals, weekly meetings, and analytical action plans is all that it takes. It starts from the right people on the right seats, to design a category, to build systems, and then to just show up and hold each other accountable for the vision we have together. If you don't deliver first, it's fine, as long as you're willing to learn to step up your game. If you don't deliver due to not putting yourself out there, then it's time to leave the bus. Whoa, thank you so much once again for the time that you just spent with me. If you don't already, please remember to follow Norders across all the social media channels. You can also find me as Joonas Kylliäinen on LinkedIn and at Joonas Antero on Instagram. I also just recently published my personal website, which you can check out at joonasantero.com for more content about entrepreneurship, family life growth, and creative business. If you have any questions or thoughts about the content or just want to say hi, you can always reach me via email at joonas@norders.agency. Looking forward to grow together.